help successful women finally start feeling like they have a bigger purpose in life. And you already know I love doing these videos to help you with the tools and teachings to help you reach your fullest potential in this lifetime. And today I wanted to share something. I thought it was really, this was such a profound moment, and it was a big eye-opener for me. So the other day I was getting my nails done. I love getting my nails done. And I was getting my nails done, and this lady behind me, she was saying, I love being stressed. I love being stressed. I don't know what to do with my life if I wasn't all stressed out. And she goes, I like to be busy. I like to be stressed out. And I was like, wow. And in that moment, I had turned around to look at her to see who it was. And in that moment, there was like this thing that clicked off. I was like, oh my gosh, that used to be me. There used to be a day when I was like, oh my gosh, I love being stressed out. I like being business. I work better under pressure. I work better under chaos. And I work better when I have to think really quick on my toes. And I used to be a surgical assistant. And so that career worked, that behavior and me worked really well in that particular career because I had to be like 10 steps ahead of every surgeon that I worked with. Like you had to prepare for everything. When you're working on a patient, you have to be like 10 steps ahead of everything. Be prepared for like the worst case scenario, even if it's like the most basic situation. And so, and our schedule always worked really super erratically. And so when things were really slow, that's when I would make mistakes and because I was so used to working under pressure. And it was really funny because when I switched into working as an entrepreneur, here I am working the same way that I used to work before, and my business was not working. Like, it was not working. It was absolute chaos. I was disorganized. I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, oh yeah, I'll try this, I'll try this, I'll try this. I was literally just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. But it wasn't spaghetti, it was money. It was money and time that I was just throwing at the wall, seeing if it would stick. And I would waste hours and days of my time working on something and then find out that the messaging wasn't right or that this wasn't right and this website was wrong. And oh my gosh, I thank goodness I didn't keep track of all the time and money I wasted because it would be really depressing. But then on the other hand, it would be a nice teaching moment for those of you who are in the same position as I was. And so one day I remember sitting on my computer and it all clicked to me. You know what, Mandy? Those habits and behaviors, that they served the old you, but they do not serve the person you're becoming. And that is one thing that I always teach my clients, is always asking yourself when it comes time to make a decision, is this serving the person I'm becoming? And at that moment, I realized that being stressed out all the time is definitely not serving the person I'm becoming. Like, definitely not. And so I realized I really had to change my habits and my behaviors in order to start growing into the person I want to be. And what's so funny is I remember when I first started my business, like I would wake up at like 7 o'clock in the morning, or I would start working at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I would end working at like 11:30 at night. And I was so tired. And one day we had gone out with, we were at some friend's house, and her boyfriend is an entrepreneur, and she works in corporate America. And it was funny because she's like, man, do you ever take a day off? Do you even work on Sundays? And Paul and I looked at each other and was like, no, we work every day. We work every day. And I remember that moment because I was like, that is definitely not why I did this. I did not get into this job. I did not become an entrepreneur and start my own business so I can work myself to death. So I work, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. I did not get into this. And so it was really funny how those little moments in life where they're just teaching lessons for you. And thank goodness I was listening, because I decided to change my habits. I decided to alter my behaviors, and I started to really enjoy life again. During that time, I do want to add, it was funny, my adrenals completely shut down. I used to be like extremely fit and used to do fitness competitions, and I used to be a boxer and all these things. And here I am, I blew out a knee. I ended up gaining a bunch of weight. I was tired all the time because I wore myself out from working so dang hard. And I realized, like, number one, this is not why I got into this. Number two, I really wanted to find freedom in my life, and instead I'm now shackled to my business. And so I had to really learn some tips and things to get me to the lifestyle I really wanted to live. And so anyways, I really wanted to address this for those of you who think the way that woman did and the same way I did. And even this weekend, my boyfriend's mother, we were at the fair, and there was like these massage chairs, and sitting in the massage chair, I was like, oh, it felt so good. And within, like, honestly, like within 5 seconds, his mom jumps out of the chair and was like, oh, this gives me even more anxiety. I gotta get going. And I was like, and it was just a reminder. I was like, man, I used to be that way. Like, I couldn't even sit still. And so now I'm working about 4 to 5 hours a day, depending on how many calls I have on any given day. But life is pretty good because now I have time and energy to be able to do things. And so, one of the ways to be able to get to a place like where you're constantly stressed out and get to a place where you've got endless calmness and peace, that is through absolute, like, meditation, learning how to meditate, learning how to really sit still without noise, without being a guided meditation, really being able to sit down and really start to hear yourself and to communicate with yourself, and taking that time every single day to really get grounded and centered. And even when you're busy, making sure that meditation practice is essential. This past week, actually, I have to admit, like, we were traveling some and I hadn't been sleeping very well, so I've been waking up late, and I kind of put my meditation off. And then towards the end of the week, my life kind of started getting a little chaotic, and I was like, what is going on? And I realized, I was like, you know what? I didn't take time to ground myself every day. I didn't take time to center myself. And of course, what was the result of that? Drama and chaos. And so I woke up this morning and I was like, that is a priority. That comes before anything and everything. There's nothing that comes before me grounding and centering myself every single day, so I can make sure that I'm in alignment and I'm solid and my foundation is solid, so then when I go out into the physical world, that everything else is also locked into that really strong, solid foundation. And so I just wanted to share that today with those of you who may be feeling like, you know, I work better that way. I work better that way. I don't need to meditate. I don't need to do this. I have to say, if what you're looking for is independence, if what you're looking for is freedom, if what you're looking for is joy and happiness and being able to travel and live a lifestyle that you've always dreamed of, well, I have to say, yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's not an option. So wanted to share that with you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Also join me on Facebook. You'll find me on Facebook as Mandolin Moses. I'm also on LinkedIn at Mandolin Moses, Instagram _Soul Connect. All of these links are going to be written down below, so they're easy to access, so you can follow me and our journey. And also, if you haven't watched our webinar, Shattering the Glass Ceiling, to help you go from where you're at now to where you want to go, if you feel like you've been living that life where this carrot has constantly been dangling in front of your eyes and you finally want to grab it, that webinar, Shattering the Glass Ceiling, will help you get there, and the link to that is below as well. So thank you very much for following me. I love you all so much. I'm so glad we've connected. Thank you. I love you all so much.